Hello, geometry. It's me. Hope you're doing well today. I just made another video. It's Monday, the 23rd. I miss you guys. I hope that you're doing all right. I hope you're practicing social distancing. I miss you. I hope that you guys are taking care of yourselves. If there's anything you need, please know that MCPS is doing lots of food, deliveries, different places. Contact me. There's like no shame. If you need to figure out how to get to the right location, I'll do what I can to help you. All right. So we are in packet 3 still. I skipped the beach one for a moment, so there may be another one, Day at the Beach. I have been making videos for a little while now. My kids are getting very antsy, so I'm going to jump down here because this is still SLT14. So applying the appropriate volume formulas. The beach one is cool. It just takes a little bit of time, so that video might come later. All right, so on the Smith family farm, there's a silo in which a family stores their wheat. The silo is made up of a cylinder with a half sphere on top as shown below. The height of the cylinder is 70 feet, and both the cylinder and the half sphere have a radius of 20 feet. By the end of the summer, silo must be half full in order to have enough wheat to make it through the year. At what height will the silo be half full? Now, I hope that at this point you're not like, oh, it's half of 70, it's 35. No, that would be nice, but this is not half of it, right? Here would not be half of it because it's 35 feet, and we also have this dome up here. And then you're like, well, and some of you might be very I'm coming up with a word that's not the word that I'm trying to say. Like observant in that we're like, well, this, if I go to like the center of it, we're gonna pretend that it's there because this is a circle, right? There is 20 feet. So half of 20 feet is 10. So that means I'm just gonna move this up to 10. So instead of 35, it should be about 45. I hope that some of you, as you're seeing this, you're like, no, Miss Homer, that's not how it's going to be, because this does not go straight up, right? And all around here, right, if this was the case, and I know that I've drawn 17 things, I love drawing, you know that. If it was like that, yeah, sure, we would add those two, so there's 90, half is 45. But all of this empty space, so for all my artists out there, all of this is not empty space. What is it called? Negative space. That negative space isn't part of the volume. So we do have to figure out the volume of the two parts and put them together and then figure out how high that would have to be. This is a little involved, a little more involved than like first glance. All right, so I would suggest we find the volume of the cylinder. So here's my cylinder. And then yes, same location, don't judge. Oops. La la la, fast forward through my sketching. All right, so there's that. Pillow fights happening right now. It's totally fine. They're okay. All right, and make them stronger. Make them stronger. You have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, so I just like to do color commentary as I sketch things. Okay, so we know that this is 70 high, and we know that the radius, and I do want to draw the radius in a somewhat correct way. It doesn't have to be 90 degrees, but this is my radius here, and we know that that is 20 because they told us it was 20. All right, so the volume formula. It is meeting the sides meet the base at a right angle. So that means volume equals base times height, area of base. All right, my base is going to be pi r squared. So volume equals pi r is 20 squared times my height, 70. Guess what? We can throw it all in at once. At least the 20 squared, so this is old stuff, so 20 squared times 70. She's totally fine. She's just laying on the couch cushion. So if you hear a little girl calling for help, she's just playing with her brother. All right, so 28,000 high. And I'm going to leave it as that for right now. So that's going to be 28,000 high. Well, let me just tell them. All right, so that's the volume of the cylinder. Now we have the volume of the hemisphere, right? Hemisphere, right, is, feel free to look it up, right? I know it's half, like I know that it is half of hemi. Let me just see as like a shortened thing. Oh, it literally just means half. So hemi, half sphere, okay? So we are gonna take half. I didn't know if there was anything more dramatic, and guess what? Now that I have YouTube, I can do this. A YouTube channel, you guys will love it. Okay, so the volume of a sphere is slightly different. The volume of a sphere, you can always look this up, 4/3 pi r cubed. The r cubed gives it the 3 dimensions, right? So the volume of, and let's do it all at once. I was going to jump and do all this other stuff. The volume of the sphere is that. So 4/3 pi times my radius, which is 20 cubed. All right. It's going to be an ugly number. That's okay. All right, sorry, I'm being weird. 20 cubed. And I'm going to say times 4. And then I'm going to, because if I did that divided by 3, it's going to look like that. So I'm just going to delete this for a second and say that this is 32,000. This times this is 32,000 pi divided by 3. All right. Now it's a hemisphere. So it's a half of the sphere. So I want half of the sphere. So that means I want half of the sphere. I want to do half of this. I'm going to multiply this by half, or basically I can multiply the bottom by 2, and that will be over at 6. Okay, so I'm going to just change this to a 6. Hold on 1 second. Let me just, oops, I'm not muted anymore. All right, give me 1/2 second. Sorry, family life happens. We know how that goes. Okay, so we're here. So this is the volume of the hemisphere, right? So now we want the volume of the whole thing. And the reason I left it like this is because I can put this all in the calculator, and the calculator can compute it. And it'll just give me a more precise answer. But how do I put these together? Well, this area, this volume is 28,000 pi. This volume is 32,000 pi divided by 6, right? So since they're together, we're going to add them. So we have, and I could do 28,000 pi plus, and I can do this whole thing, 32,000 pi over 6, right? Now I know, like, I could have been like hundredths off or whatever, but throw it on the calculator. They can do the math as long as you tell it to do the right thing, right? So 104,719.76, we'll say. And I will not remember this, so I will have to click back and forth a couple times. 104,719. So the volume of the silo is 104. I already forgot. 719. Yeah, let's do 720. I'll be generous with my rounding, because 7.75 would round up, and that would round to the 20. So I'm just going to leave it there. All right, so now I want it to be half full, right? Because that's what it needs to be in order to have enough wheat throughout the year. Okay, and I'm going to use my estimate. I am going to do that. 104,720 divided by 2. So that means for it to be half full, we need to have 52,360. So the volume, half of the volume is going to equal to, and I already forgot because I keep changing my mind, 52,360. All right, so that's how much wheat I will need. And the question is, because we always want to answer the question, what height will the silo be half full? Now, we estimated that it's going to be between 35 feet and 45 feet, right? Good news is it doesn't go up into the hemisphere, so I really just have to figure out what is the height of a cylinder that because we're just thinking about the corn like standing in, or corn is not corn, it's wheat, but I was thinking suppose it's corn. I almost said it again. The wheat, right? Think of the wheat as a cylinder, and that volume of cylinder that it is going to be 52,360. That's going to equal to my area of my base, my B and H, right? Well, base, the area of this base, we already did this, but I'm just going to do it again. The area of this base is pi r squared. So pi times 20 squared. All right, we want to solve for h. Let's divide by 20 squared pi. Divide by 20 squared pi. Yes, you should know that 20 squared is 400, but whatever, if you don't. Okay, so 52360. Well, it does matter. It all matters. You can do so much when you put your brain to work. Don't get me wrong, please. I'm not being flippant about it, but I just know that people, some love mental math and some don't. Ah, here it is. So I would say 41.7, right? So that would mean, so these cancel, and this, my height is going to equal to 41.7 feet, right? So our estimate of between 35 and 45 is pretty good. But this is how you would solve fully for this one. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. If you have questions, please email me. I am here to do all those things. And yeah, hope you guys are doing all right. Bye.